Hello, hello. How we doing today? I only had to restart my Wi-Fi 3 times today to make the thing work, and it looks like it's already disconnected. Never mind. Let's see here. I don't know why it's being such a butt today. Well, maybe this isn't going to work at all today. Cool. Some days just be like that. It was working just fine 3 minutes ago. It did take some work to get it working, but I guess it's decided that it doesn't want to work now either. Well. Let's see. That's going to break everything, so that's great. Because if I have to restart my Wi-Fi again after I start it up, that's a big pain in the butt. Okay, well, I guess we're not doing this digital day today because it's not going to work. So give me like 3 minutes and I'm going to move all of my shit and we're going to do this traditional today because digital doesn't want to work. So give me a few more minutes. I'll be right back. Why did it decide to just randomly add that there? That doesn't go there. What the heck? Okay, sure, that's fine. That is there. Why did it add that? You don't go there. Weirdo. Okay, let's try this again. Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I'm a little frustrated now. Okay, I need to change the tags on my stream because we're gonna do this physical since my digital doesn't want to work. Hum, 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 hum. Okay. Food paint challenge can stay, digital art and Procreate need to go. And we will change those to traditional art. And watercolor. Okay. I don't have a piece of paper cut for this because I didn't plan to do it this way. So let's see what I have pre-cut in my bag. These are probably too small, really. I could do like a mini, I guess, with those. Or I could grab one of the bigger pieces. Let's see. What are these? I was right on the back what the... Oh, sorry, I hit the camera with that. And just pencil what the paper type is so that in instances like these where I've had pieces sitting around for forever, I can kind of know what I'm doing. So this is hot press. So this is watercolor paper. This one is cold press watercolor paper that's thicker. So this is like regular thickness for watercolor paper. Then this is like heavy duty strong boy, which I don't think I'll need for this. I mean, I could use it anyway, but I think this makes more sense. And I do want to make it a square, I think, since it's an Instagram challenge, and that's the standard ratio over there. Do I have anything else that, if I have some cold press cut, That would be good. Now here's the cheapo paper. Well, cheapo. It's fine. It's Strathmore. The other stuff that I've been using is Legion, which is much more expensive and much nicer. Let's see. I think that's fine. I don't have a ruler to measure this. Let's see. So that's 5 by 4 maybe? Guessing off of my hand size. The right answer is to go grab a ruler really fast, which is frustrating. But anyway, I'm just going to mute myself. I'll be like 30 seconds. Okay, so let's see how close was my guesstimate. Over 4 there. And close to 6 by 4. All right. Well, less than 4.5-ish. I'm gonna need to troubleshoot that later. I thought it was working and then it decided to not work and I don't know why. This seems like it's really dark right now too. So let's mess with that a bit. Oh, don't ask me to rate my experience with this right now. You don't want me to do that. Let's grab a random piece of art, not that one though, to test how color looks right now. That works. That's not too bad, but it is still pretty dark. Hi, Graham. How's it going? Are you still at work? Hey, bud, you want to listen to me? We're having a fun technical difficulty stream right now, and I'm very proud of myself that I haven't just exploded and rage quit yet. Oh, I just realized that I never actually plugged my laptop in. That would help some of this a little bit. My iPad connection wasn't working. Is that too bright? No, I think that's okay. Yeah, but it was working and then I started up and then it stopped working. So I was going to draw on my iPad today, which would make my life easier later on as a content creator. But the mirroring doesn't want to work today, so I just kind of gave up and came out here instead. Okay, I'm hydrating now. I'm stretching now. Just frustrating. So, but at least I have the capability to shift to something else. My brother is coming back soon, so I need to share the living room again. I did get permission to continue to be out here on Fridays for a while, at least until I finish the Halloween stuff, since Twitch chat helped me with that. I want to finish that on stream for sure. Oh, okay. I was going to do, my palette's not full because I cleaned that out and I was going to refill that on Friday on stream because I need to do swatches and stuff too. So this is a little bit of a mess, but it's fine. I can use the reds and stuff that I already have in my other palettes. And we can just do a limited challenge here. Limited color palette. I know words. That's a lie. Let me add the reference image on here. I wanted to add image. And I do actually want one that I already have, which is in here somewhere. There you are. Yep. Add source, please. Oh, that's gigantic. Boop, 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 boop. There. On the other one, it looks like it's actually paper clipped onto something, but that's not how this is set up. So I'm just gonna, oh, thank you for dragging that, even though I told you not to. Oh. Okay, you done? Thank you. And you, Logitech, can shut up. Yeah, it's one of those days. It's fine. We'll make it through. I want you to actually move over here a little bit, and I will remove the project text. Go away. There. Okay. Okay. Anything else want to explode right now while I'm working on it? No? Okay. It'll do it in like another 3 minutes or something. Okay. Normally, I would be extraordinarily anal about how I place the tape on the side of my project, and I would measure exactly how much white space I was leaving on the paper, but you know what? It's not that kind of day to day. We're just gonna guesstimate. Oh, I did make that really crooked for you guys though. Whoops. Let's see. There, that's better. I definitely bumped the camera while I was sitting stuff down, which is why you can see the edge tape that's supposed to mark the edge of where you can see. Okay. I could probably zoom this in a little bit more, but that would involve opening the Logitech nonsense again, and I don't want to. That's crooked. There. So, food paint challenge. This will be my first one done physically, so that can be a great tagline for something to get me more views or something, right? That's how this works. Oh, fuzzy. No. Anyway, how are you doing today, Grim? Oh, I'm sure it's super hot there. We're like, I think we're hitting 65 today, which is the warmest it's. Oh God, that's disgusting. I would simply choose to die. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. But that's actually like the warmest it's been for a while. We haven't gotten past like 73 this whole summer, which is weird. Like, just to clarify, I'm saying this is part of climate change. I'm not saying, oh, wee hee, look at me. I'm saying, wow, isn't it so fucked? As I said before, yes, I am. Okay, cover the edge of that completely since I'm just taping down the paper. Hooey. This has just been a hell of a week already, and it's only Tuesday. But the weather pattern here has been really weird. So we'll get like 2 warm days where it's sunny, and then it's just crazy rain the rest of the time. Exactly, Grim. Exactly. I'm glad you knew what reference I was going for. Okay, so cherries. I did have an idea for how I was going to do this, but since things have changed, now I don't know what I'm doing. So that's super fun. I should have brought my iPad out here to use the reference image bigger. I have it on my phone. That's fine. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So I'm just going to use colored pencil because it's going to show up less once I start actually painting. And I think I'm going to try to make the fruit bigger because I liked how that ended up for the apple. Although maybe that's too big. Whatever. But my scanner, my art scanner, was acting up too. And I had to wait over the weekend because the customer support isn't there on the weekends. Because, of course. So I had to wait until yesterday for them to get back to me. And it turns out that the real issue is that their instructions for how to do things for Mac are just straight up missing steps. So that was fun to discover. I told them that, but they didn't really listen to me. I think. So I don't think that will change at all, but fixed now. So I had to rescan like all of my art yesterday, which is not a small task. It did make it easier for me to start adding the stuff that I talked about on stream last time to prints and stuff, though, for Halloween stuff, which is my next sticker sheet project. Is I'm going to do a Halloween sheet, so that will be on Friday, along with a palette filling and swatching stream. So if you like organization and watching things organized neatly, then that will be your kind of thing. Hello, 02. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Because I am very specific about how I organize things, so I make like a color chart of what I put in my watercolor palette with the names and all that kind of stuff. So that might be fun for people to watch if you're into that. I know I like watching that kind of stuff, so. Okay. These are considerably bigger than they are in the reference photo, but I'm okay with that. Depending on how this one turns out, I might add as a print to my imprint. I do think I made them a bit too far apart, really. This one in particular. Okay. I don't know what I want to do for the background on this. I didn't get paint water. It's one of those days. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself to go get paint water. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Aroniko? Aroneko. I can read things. Welcome in. Took me a second. I was just going to say, I don't have the Aero flag right here. I have a gender that I used to test my my camera setup just a second ago. Here they are. Because I was organizing these because I had to scan all my stuff again, so here we go. Ta-da! I have a bunch of these. I did a whole series of pride roses, so I have all sorts. Oh yeah, for sure. Colors. I should get a scratch piece of paper to test paint colors on. There we go. Because we're just going to be using what I have sitting around. Yeah, you are Grim. I'm not Aero, but Aero friendly for sure. Yeah, yeah. Which is frustrating because of the A, you know? People say it means ally a lot when we have plenty of A's within the community already. Aero, ace, asexual, agender. There's all sorts of choices. So, yeah. I have in my, yeah, I know. I yell at people about the ally too. I have in my info and stuff. Oh, this is going to be a good color for that darker cherry. I think I included Aero in my stream info, but I say specifically that this is an inclusive space. So if you can't agree that Ace and Aero people are included in the umbrella, then you aren't welcome here. So. These are some more bricky red colors. I probably want to go a bit brighter for these cherries. I'm just playing around. This is an old color palette of watercolors that I've had for ages, and I mixed most of the colors that are in this on my own. I just finished cleaning out my regular watercolor palette last stream, and I'm going to refill this on Friday. and make a color chart for it because I'm weird about organization. But I finished up all the watercolors that were in that batch, so we're just going to play around with what I have sitting around for these cherries because I don't want to have to do more work right now. I was planning on doing this stuff digital, but my tech was throwing a hissy fit. So that's magenta. I mean, that's the paint color name. Yes, the color is also magenta, but red on the orangey side. That one's super orange. I remember that one. This is kind of a pinky purpley, I think. Yeah, so that'll be good for the darker one. Because that one cherry, this one right here, is going to be pretty dark in comparison. So we're gonna see how I can muddle this because I was not planning on doing this today. So I didn't pre-think it through because your girl has the anxieties and that is how my brain functions. Okay, so I think I want to start it with like this bricky red color. Is that this one? Pretty sure. Yeah. Just do a light coating of that. Ooh, light coating, har har. Hey, I function just fine. I make art and I manage to do certain things and it's fine. This paper is not my favorite. I'll put it that way. I do need to pick up this big old blob that I just set down there. Yeah, I know you're saying it out of love, but come on, man. I say love teasing, I guess. But you know where the limits are, so. Maybe I'll calm down now? Maybe? We'll find out. Okay, so I think since there's that really bright highlight there. Yeah, fair. We do complement each other's broken. That's a fact. I'm gonna just do like a little water bloom through here so that it moves some of the pigment around. So there's a little bit of color there, but oh man, somebody today I saw was playing Elden Ring, which makes me think of you like all the time, with a freaking camera as a controller, which seems difficult in a number of ways. There. As if Elden Ring isn't difficult enough on its own. Yeah, I'm not, excuse me, my voice is also not going to cooperate today. I'm gonna mute so I can cough for a second. Hang on. Okay, there we go. I vaguely sound like a person again. What was I saying? I'm not a Elden Ring player. I don't like things that make me need to react. Hey, Astra! It's good to see you. But I definitely don't play games like that. They make me anxious and they give me panic attacks. But I watch Grim play a fair amount of it, so I know some of it. But that game's hard. I can't imagine playing it with even a regular controller. Okay. How have you been, Astra? It's been a while. Yeah, the banana controller, that's right. The camera was pretty impressive. One of my streamer friends, Jick, does a fair number of weird controllers, which is always impressive to me from just a technical standpoint. Hey, lady! A no-hit run on Elden Ring? I don't know how that would work, not gonna lie. Oh, that's disappointing. I'm sorry, Astra. I'm chugging along. Life has been very strange lately. I guess kind of this year started with a big dip, and nothing has really calmed down since. Like, I'll think everything's going okay, and then something else will happen, which is just kind of life, but eesh. Yeah, I guess starting over. I would not have the patience for that, I won't lie. I'm a pretty patient person for some things, but nah. Yeah. Oh, is there a new one? What's the dealio with that one? Yes, I say dealio. It's a thing. Do I know Remnant 1? I don't know that I do. I didn't watch you play it, did I? If I did, I'm about to embarrass myself real bad. The one with the shootings doesn't really narrow it down for me. From things that you play? That's wild, Neko. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I think I want to make this cherry like pink on the undertones and then do reds for the darker bits. We'll see how that goes. I don't really know what I'm doing, just to be clear. This is not my usual style. This is not how I usually do things. Big Red Crystal. No, I don't remember that one. I have received a gift. What? Oh, somebody bought me brushes. Thank you, Aster Kitty. I appreciate you. That's so nice of you. I do have a throne. I don't have the alerts set up. I thought I did, but apparently those aren't going to work today either. My birthday is coming up in August, so I figured I'd set that up if people wanted to send me gifts. I'm a little notorious for bullying other streamers with gifts, so I thought it was only fair that I offered that opportunity. Mage Run is fun. I do like magic, although I'm also a big fan of just a big buff person who hits things until they die. Very much appreciated, Astra. I'll make sure to, when I get them, send you a message. Ooh, I did not think through greens. I do have a little bit of sap green here. That will probably be good for, yeah, that's sap green. If that, and I have some yellow. So I'm working off of 2 palettes that I already had set up. So I'm working off my old one that's supposed to be a travel palette, but I never actually travel with it. And then stuff that I was adding just randomly because I was out on my main palette, because I cleaned out my entire main palette with the intention of refilling it and doing a swatch color map on stream. And then I was going to do digital for today and things broke. So I just said, okay, well, screw you two. I'll just do physical art today. I do think I'm going to want to add more purple to this one at some point. But I'm just going to kind of slap paint at it and see how it goes. I didn't let that dry all the way, so that color's leaking in. That's fine. It's an experiment anyway. Yeah, for sure. This color. And I definitely don't usually do realistic style at all. Even, well, I don't do like hyperrealism ever because I'm bad at it. But I also really don't tend to do any sort of realism with watercolor. It is not my forte. So this is an adventure today. You changed your name again. I can never keep track of you. What am I supposed to call you now? Comet? Does that work? Cassandora? Or I could just keep calling you Lemon for the rest of eternity. This paper is kind of cheap too, so. Oh, anime. I love anime art. I'm not super, like, it's not what I usually draw anime, but it's an art style that I very much like. So good to look at. I mostly do, I don't know, kind of cartoony, I guess. Real artist challenges try to make them try to describe their own art style. So that's the highlight. That's the stem hole. Thank you. I don't know what I'm doing. I try to be at least vaguely vocal about that. But like my most recent art project that I've been working on is dream journals. So I have a lot of dreams and I tend to remember my dreams a lot. So I've been doing visual representations of dreams that I've had. This one was an anxiety dream. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Some of these are available as stickers too in my shop. So I call them citrus shrooms are available. But I kind of do, I don't know, weird stylized, I guess. This one is one of my favorites. I might actually get a poster of that one. So this is like the closest to realism I've gotten are these cans. I worked really hard on those. Surreal? Is that what you think it is? I don't know, man. Yeah, I enjoy cartoony stuff. I also did the roses that I showed you before. Those are some of my favorites. Let's see. This is closer to realism, but this isn't with watercolor. It's with colored pencil. I do a lot of typography too. I haven't mostly for the dream journals, but I have so many dreams about waves coming to take me. It's like actually wild. Thank you for the gift sub. I will feel guilty that he wasn't here. He actually apologized to me the other day because he hasn't been here. And I'm like, dude, you have so much going on. Don't apologize to me. This is really, I think, this style, which I don't know what to call that, is very much the hallmark. Um, when I was in high school, me and my friends used to do highlighter art. Um, so we do something like this with ballpoint pen and then um, use those liquid highlighters to add color. I probably have a notebook of those somewhere. I should try to find it. But I'd often do quotes and stuff like that for those. Let's grab some typography while I'm waiting for this to dry. So the other project that I did was a year-long project where I did a song lyric a week, physical typography, that the song lyric resonated with me for one reason or another. This one's week 12? Yeah, week 12. I don't have all of the originals anymore because some of them were, two of them were a gift for somebody. But I did a whole bunch of these. So this is going in order from week 1 to, I think 24 is in this stack. But I'd say that really I do more typography than anything else, or I used to. I've been trying to branch out a bit. Because I do enjoy watercolor, but I tend to do more like big color if I'm left to my own devices than doing anything realistic for sure. Like this kind of color blotch ombre is something that I really like doing. This one was the biggest pain in the butt. So if you can see, there's kind of like a lace pattern. I did that with masking fluid and it didn't really work, so I went over it with white gel pen afterwards. It looks really nice, but it took forever. If I ever did that again, I would do it a different way. But all of these you can find on various socials. This was I started in 2020 around my birthday, which is August 20th. And then I did that for a year. This one you can't really see because it has fluorescent in it, so it's made to be viewed under a black light. But there's a few fun ones in here. So this is kind of like if I was going to try to do realistic watercolor, this is the kind of level that I'm at, which is not great, honestly. And I'm not saying that to be down on myself. It's just not one of the skills that I'm really up on. I think it won't be in this stack, but there is one from after I started watching Trish, which is someone that I watch with Astro Kitty, actually. Let me see if I can find it. It's probably in the second stack here. I just rescanned everything. I didn't rescan these, but everything else. So it's a little bit more organized than it might be otherwise. But there's one in specific I'm thinking of. This one's one of my favorites. This is a Hosier line. This one. I specifically remember having watched Trish and saying like, ooh, I'm gonna ruin this moth. Well, welcome in, Arrow Bro. So there's a little moth there. And Trish loves doing moths, like she does them a bunch. But I remember doing this one in specific, and I was like, oh, I've actually learned things from watching Trish. I know how to actually use watercolor paper now. Wild. Because for most of these, I used Bristol board. A moth OC, that's cool. You should definitely tell me. This one's cool. It's actually colored vellum, so you can see through it. I don't know that I have a bright enough light for you to be able to tell that, but thank you. And then I guess this is the very last one that I did, and it's embroidery on felt. Embroidery and fiber is actually my one trained medium. Everything else I've kind of taught myself with. So those are the big ones, which I don't have anything else next to me to show you about embroidery, but oh, cool. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, see, this is the issue with leaving something. Oh well, it was wet when I started, it's fine. And this wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't cheapo paper, but whatever. Okay, what am I doing? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Frogs are always good. Oh, cool. Making art is always a good thing to do with your time, in my opinion. I'm biased, though. Gosh, yeah, this paper really holds onto water for a long time. Yeah, I was gonna say Astor probably has some because of Trish. Trish is seriously such an awesome artist. I actually just got some stickers from her in the mail yesterday, which is exciting. They actually gave her her own command. I love Trisha. She's so good. I can't type. Who wants to bet how long until I actually accidentally slam a paintbrush full of paint into the wife's sofa? There we go. That's Trish. She's great. You should follow her. I'm over there basically whenever she's streaming. So if you want to hang out with me more, I guess that's a place to do it. Excellent. I really should have put my phone into a silent mode before I started streaming. I keep meaning to make a specific setting, but I haven't done it yet. Because there are some things that I do need to know while streaming, like seeing my emails so that I know if something important is happening. But I do not need Pokemon Go telling me that I'm about to hatch an egg. That isn't helpful to me right now. Oh, that's great. Man, I'm working on something frog related, but I can't say because it's a surprise for somebody. I'll put it in Trisha's Discord when I can, though. I know that the recipient isn't in there, so. Yeah, that's great. I think it needs more red around the stem hole. I don't know what else to call that. There's probably some like super official fruit name for it, but I feel like I'm not getting the depth right on this, but again, we're playing around, it's fine. Yeah, I just at a certain point, I'm not going to be overly thrilled with saying the word whole as many times as I have today. I need you to go like that, kind of. Do you think this needs to be a bit darker? But I do think I need to let that dry a bit before I mess with it more. This one is really more red tone than purple tone, I think. And this one has a beautiful little butt crack down the middle, so that will be fun. I think. Fruit butt cracks are important. Want to do a deeper red there probably at some point, but we'll start here and see how it goes. Trying to make sure I don't put my hand in the super dark wet paint on this other cherry. So I do think I need one of these deeper reds down here, but it does really have like a nice red tone to it. Let's start there. Maybe this one. Is that the one I want? Yeah, this paper doesn't have a lot of control to it, so I'm just going to blame all my mistakes on choosing this paper at the beginning, and we're all going to pretend like that's the truth. everything wrong with this painting was the paper's fault. I didn't make any bad choices. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure. And like peaches really get the focus on fruit butts a lot of the time, but they aren't the only ones, and I'm tired of pretending like they are. Apples get fruit butts, cherries get fruit butts. There's lots of options. A nice plum, an apricot. I think apricot should be maybe more of the fruit butt fruit. You know what I mean? Because it's got the right level of fuzz to it in comparison to the peach. Yeah, one of the other fruit challenges like this that I did, the first one I did was an apple that had a little bit of a fruit butt. And clearly I have to make the joke that the favorite fruit butt in the world that I know of is mine. Ha- had to be said. Somebody had to say it. I bet it's a lot. Did you just need to butt in and say that? And the pigment really doesn't settle into this paper like at all. I haven't used this paper in ages. I think the last thing I used this paper for before I got the nicer paper was the original Pride roses, which don't involve too much messing around with color layers and stuff. Ba, 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 ba. I am learning how much to appreciate the current paper I'm using. I may need to pull out the hair dryer. Jeez, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself for a second so that you guys don't have to listen to the obnoxious hair dryer while I try to dry this. Okay. Now that it's dry, it looks better to me. I won't lie. Like at a certain point, I'm just throwing pigment in to wet water, which isn't going to actually do anything that I want it to. It's just going to move around on its own, which is fine sometimes. I love doing that and just like watching where it goes. But when you're trying to actually do something with it, it can get a little frustrating. I never did decide what I wanted to do for the background for this. I probably should have done the background first, but whatever. Maybe I'll just do some blue gouache in the background because I have some of that in another palette mixed up from the Starry Night dream journal that I did, that I've been trying to use in other projects. And gouache hides a lot of sins when you don't stay within the lines. Well, it looks vaguely like a cherry so far, so that's something. Maybe it needs some orange too, but I do think that it has some cool kind of like streaky patterns on it that I'll do after this dries with a liner brush and some more of the brighter colors. I think that will look nice. Maybe. I've never tried that before. We'll find out. But I do kind of want to work on this one a bit too, which is like bright red. And also has a fruit butt. I'll just point out. Just a little fruit butt right here. True. Do want to probably add some more of that deeper red in there for the shadows. Gosh, I feel like these look horrible, but they really don't. That's just my brain being like, you aren't doing your usual style. What's wrong? They're fine. Thank you. Do you think maybe utilizing a little bit of magenta on this one is probably going to be the right call? But we'll see. Yeah, both of those things. My regular brain, it doesn't even need to be my art brain, will just overthink things until I implode. It's an issue. It's also just, I think, especially for art or anything you create, really, you see it in all the stages. And so you're focused on doing each individual stage and you aren't thinking about it in a bigger picture. So, like, if I'm staring at this art, I'm staring at this one spot right here that I think looks a little funky. I'm not looking at the whole thing, which does look vaguely like a cherry. It's especially bad with your own art, too. I'm gonna need to hair dryer this again. This paper really sucks. I'm just gonna tell you. This is not conducive to my practice. Do you think I probably want to add some yellow there? Because that will make it read a little bit lighter. Which yellow do I want to add? Probably this one? We'll see if I regret this. Nah, I think that's right. And I can layer it out if I don't like it. I have like major anxiety and overthinking problems, and I like always have. You get used to it after a while, but it does take some effort to like realize that's what's happening. Yeah, for sure, Astra. Sometimes you just need to let things happen, even if it's not what you expected. Like, this is not what I usually do, so I need to accept that. But also, the layering and everything looks like a hot mess while you're doing it. It always does. It doesn't matter what medium you're doing. Everything looks really bad on the first layer. That's just how it works. And especially since I didn't do line art with this, I usually do line art with stuff underneath everything and then go over it again on top. That makes a big difference too, because you have those lines to give it shape instead of just relying on color and shade like I'm doing here. Excuse me, I cleaned a bunch yesterday and I'm allergic to dust, and you can definitely tell, can't you? I think with physical art, it's harder to, just because with digital art, you can flip layers on and off. And so you can see the difference that it made in like the levels, but with physical art, you can't do that. Or if anybody else has figured out a way to do that, please let me know how. Teach me your tricks. Do you think it needs a bit more yellow down here too? Right in there. Maybe like a little ochre down here. Yeah, it's really bad. I'm also bad at keeping up with cleaning, so I always make a mess of it and then have to suffer. But once I get it clean, it will be better. The process of getting anything clean isn't the most fun. Yeah. Brains, man. Why they like that? Okay, I'm gonna pull the hairdryer out again so I can still see you guys. I can see you. I can read you, but you just won't hear me. All right. You can see the reason that I decided to dry it. You can see some like color blooming here where I put more water than pigment on the brush. And what it did was because the bottom was still wet, it pushed the pigment that was laying there out. And so it's made kind of like a line there, which is something you can do on purpose, which I do sometimes. I really like doing that for like making clouds. It looks really nice if you start that on the bottom layer, but that's not what I'm going for here. So having to dry in between layers because this paper doesn't absorb water the same way of the paper that I'm used to. So that's a bit darker than I really intended, but that's okay. Yeah, it's really nice to just give like a vague cloud shape and then you can carve in with like a gray or yellow or something. And it gives a really nice effect because something I have problems with when I'm making anything that's supposed to look natural is having organic shapes because I overthink it and then make the same shape 35 different times. So it gives you like an organic shape base to start with, which I find makes the process a lot easier. So I think part of the reason why I don't like the underside of this is because I'm focusing too much on where the highlight is and trying to leave that white when I can go in and use gouache or a white gel pen to fix that. So again, overthinking it. It is a regular issue. I also think that I've made the stem significantly different than it is in the reference image, which is part of the reason why I'm having problems. Which is fine. We'll figure it out. I don't know why, but looking at it tiny on the screen actually makes me be able to see like where the stream overlay is that I'm looking at. Makes it so much clearer about how the shade is actually coming together. I guess partially because I'm looking at that straight on and so is the camera, but looking here, I'm coming at an angle. Also, just being able to lean back and actually see it probably helps. But yeah, those look vaguely like the reference image. I think we're doing okay. I did make that highlight in kind of the wrong spot, but whatever. Again, realism is not my bag. I'm not very good at copying things down from an image. But I also don't really need to be. Part of the point of doing this challenge as a whole, it's a weekly challenge on Instagram. Yeah, for sure, Astra. Part of the reason I started doing this, which is a weekly challenge on Instagram, where they give you a new reference photo every week on Friday, was just because I feel like I need to practice this. It's something that I don't do a lot and I wouldn't make myself do if I didn't have some sort of direction to it. Which a lot of times the projects that I pick for myself, like the long-term projects like the typography year of lyrics or the dream journal, have like specific goals that I want them to reach. And part of the reason why I push that is because if I don't make some kind of goal for myself, I just won't work on something the way that it needs to be worked on. I need something external to like actually make me do something, which I also hate being told what to do. So that works out really well. But doing something where you can push yourself a little bit is important. And this is a free one where the reference images don't have any sort of copyright on them, so I could sell this art. I could sell prints of this art if I wanted to. And I just think food is cool, honestly. Okay, I think I need to make this feel rounder. Now I do have the, yeah, Astra, it really is. I've been doing pretty good. I think having a Patreon actually helps me a lot because it gives me a set goal where I'm like, okay, I need to finish this by X because this many people are paying me to do that. And it feels a lot less, what's the right word? I can't think of the right word. A lot less likely to set off my contrary nature. It feels like the right amount of pressure versus me going, oh, you aren't the boss of me kind of thing, which I am liable to do. But since I'm the one who set the rules, it feels a little better. I need to maybe deepen right through here a little bit. Which is going to be fun because the paper is buckling there, so it's not going to look right. It's a little better. Okay, what do I think I need to do with other people? I think that I need to... Other people. The other cherries. Everything is a people's. I think that I need to deepen all of these colors a bit. And get a smaller brush and work on our stem hole in there. I think it's funny that the two cherries that have stems still have buds, but the one without the stem just has a hole. That's, huh, there you go. More of that important hole content. Let's see. What happens if I give this a lot of purple? Because I do think that the stem hole needs some more pink to it around the edge. I do think that I need to try to fix this hard line right here. Yeah, I think that's better already. There we go. Oh no, I forgot that part was wet. No. Okay, it's hairdryer time again. This is so fun. Okay, I think that's enough that it isn't going to continue bleeding the darker color into there. Hopefully. We'll see. I do think that purple helped a lot. Okay, let that dry a bit and then I'll come back to it to work on the stem a bit more. I say as I immediately do something else with it. There, I like that. I just added a little bit of pink to the higher tones there. What about you, buddy? I think that you aren't red enough for one. I think I ended up darkening you perhaps a little bit too much. Let's go back over here with some more red. Music, did you stop? No, you didn't. You were just pausing aloud. Well, I think if I learn nothing else from this, which I don't think is a worry, I will learn that I was right to never buy this paper again. and throw out the remaining lots that I had of it. Because it is annoying the heck out of me. Well, I do think that I've learned more about color in the past couple years than I did before, which is good. I think my next long-term project, I mentioned before that I think my dream journal project is nearing its finale. I'm feeling done with it. I think for other projects, or my next long-term project, I want to do something involving color, like limited color palettes, or like working on monotone pieces maybe. Because I definitely have been, yeah, I have a, well, I intended to do a color palette challenge, so I made a randomized sheet of 100 different limited color palettes, and I did 2 of those, and then just kind of it fell to the wayside around all my other projects. But maybe bringing that back. I also think it would be fun to do, like people do that with the Pantone color postcards and stuff like that. I think that would be fun. Some people paint on them. I probably wouldn't do that, but I think picking like a color to work on for a month would be fun, especially since I do multiple mediums. I could make it so that there was like 1 week I'm doing embroidery, or 1 week I'm doing colored pencil, and the next week I'm doing watercolor or something like that. I also have a very bad habit of planning too many projects at once. So I need to not do that. Because I'll say, oh, it would be cool if I did this, it would be cool if I did this, it would be cool if I did this. And you don't have time to do all that. You don't have the brain power to do all that. Calm down. I maybe should have switched to a smaller brush at some point, but I think this is working fine. I do think this one still looks a little flat. Oh yeah, for sure. The current project I'm doing is an Advent book, so it's a soft book that has pockets like an Advent calendar, but it's in book form. And that's for one of my other streamer friends, Jick. So it has a whole bunch of Pokemon in it because he's a Pokemon streamer. Oh yeah, the starter kits sometimes can be overwhelming because a lot of them are like really big. A side project, I guess, that I've been working on with embroidery is I have a gigantic cross stitch pattern that's Van Gogh's Starry Night, but it's like huge. It's gigantic. It's like 11 by 14 and it has 60 different thread colors for a cross stitch. That's like insane. And I bought that multiple years ago and I work on it every once in a while and then put it away again. But I can go grab the Advent book pages that are done and show you. Hold on just 1 second. I'll take a quick stretch break because I should grab more water anyway. And I can show you that when I come back. Okay, I'm back. It's a big old bag of embroidery. Okay, the last page you guys can't see because that's up for my patrons in 2 days. But I'm gonna need to be careful to not set this in the watercolor. So each of these pages, haha, thank you, Graham. Each of the pages has a pocket that's the right size to put a package of Pokemon cards in. So they've each got a little elastic thing around the button, and then there's a pocket. Each of the buttons are different because I got just like a vintage set of random gold buttons to kind of do an eclectic kind of feel. But I designed all the embroideries myself and embroidered them. So one is Zubat, then 2 is Espeon, and I changed the style of embroidery I was doing between the first page, which is this one, and the rest of them. So I was doing long and short stitch, which is a classic way of doing basic patches because it's a little bit more up to wear and tear, so it's more durable. But I didn't really like the way that it looked, so I went to straight satin stitch, and that allowed me to use directionality a lot more, which gave some more depth to the embroidery. Yeah, for sure, Astra. So all of these buttons were from a random grab bag that I got that was like $3 or something ridiculous. The colors for the entire thing are purple and gray and then gold accents. So I did, this is binding on all the pages that I did. That's metallic gold, and then I used metallic thread for the edges. Metallic thread is a pain in the butt. Don't use it unless you are really committed to it. Thank you. So that was the first one that I did for this in satin stitch. And then we've got Kricketot here. And I've only got one more page left of this actually to embroider. I've made a lot of progress on it. I've been working on this for like 2 years, on and off. And weirdly enough, I couldn't find any sort of pattern for something like this, like a soft advent book, which really surprised me. I would have thought that somebody else would have thought of that and made it before me, but I guess not. So I made this entire thing up. I came up with the, thank you. I really like the Onyx because that one really was focused on stitch directionality too. And the color change, I think, looks really cool. But I came up with all the measurements, came up with the idea, did the math for it, and if anybody knows me, I don't like doing math. This one is really fun because it has Arcanine and Canine from Doctor Who. Jick is also a Doctor Who fan, so. Yeah, so I drew all these designs and then embroidered them. This one I did in such a rush that I actually bruised underneath my thumbnail, which was fun. Sometimes I just get super focused on it and I just go. It happens. Honestly, I do that a lot more often than I should probably, but it's not so bad. I don't use thimbles for the most part. I usually use my thumbnail to push needles through, which is not the way you should do it, but it's definitely the way that I do it. 13 is Chansey offering you a glass of water. I always joke that she shows up in shiny hunts and stuff where she's not invited because she's reminding you to stay hydrated. Little sleeping Purrloin. Oh, that button choice was fun for me too. So, Purrloin is like a thief Pokemon and is set up that way in the anime and stuff like that. And it looks to me like this button should have a gem in it and doesn't. So I thought it was funny to put it with the cat that's always accused of being a thief. Yeah, little sleepy kitty. Then Chikorita. I had fun with some of the buttons. I think about them way more than I probably should, but whatever. Little saluting Machop. And I actually made this one into an emote for Jick. I redrew it to be better for an emote. Let's see if my chat's going to cooperate with me. My poor computer. No, it's not going to. Come on, buddy. Let's see, it would be... I think? No. Oh, well. My chat doesn't want to cooperate. My poor computer is so slow. Okay, it's just there that it's not working. It'll work in the other one. There we go. So I made this one into an emote. Little saluting Machamp. Shield on. Candy cane unknown. Wailmer, who has the biggest button because it's the biggest Pokemon. Thank you. I had fun with that one. I think it turned out really well too. Sometimes with emotes you have like an idea for something and you can't translate it very well. Okay, and then 21, which is my favorite number, so this is my favorite Pokemon, Hawlucha, pointing to the next page, which is 22, which is Jick's favorite number. And this isn't his favorite Pokemon, but it's one that we associate with him. It's Timber, and he does construction and renovation and stuff as his day job. So that's like the Pokemon that's like him. Yeah, I love Hawlucha. It has a really nice shiny too. What's really funny is it's my favorite Pokemon, but I'm actually terrified of birds in real life. So have to have some contradictions, right? But those are all the ones I have done, except for the one that's Patreon only for a week and a bit still. And then I have one more page to finish, and then I need to bind all the pages into the soft book, which I haven't done before, and I have a vague idea of how I'm going to do it, but we're going to see how well that happens. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for being interested. I don't mind talking about stuff. I still feel like this cherry is so flat. I think maybe because this spot right here ended up a bit muddled. Let's try adding some purple in here and see how that goes. It's such a huge project. I don't think I really understood what I was getting myself into when I said I was going to do it. Yeah, I think it just ended up a little bit too muddied, and I think that spot right there is a little bit too dark. I also think this paper is getting overworked a bit, but whatever. There we go. The rest of them feel a little bit more dynamic, even if they're, I'm gonna go with the word sloppy here, which we can pretend is a stylistic choice and not that I don't know what I'm really doing. I've made this end look like a fair amount flatter than I think it actually is. I think that my use of color in this is going really well. Because I knew enough to use like a yellow here for the highlight instead of just trying to do a lighter red, which gives it a lot more depth. Especially. I do still need to add some pink to the stem hole. But I do think overall this is going a lot better than I thought it was going to. I still need to do the stems. I have not touched or thought about those at all yet. I think those will be a little bit easier though. Knock on wood. Okay, are you dry enough to do stuff with? I think so. So let's grab a little bit of a smaller brush and add some pink in there. I do think that the natural way the watercolor forms lines here has done me some favors for the whole. I do think I need to add a darker brown in the middle though. There we go. I think what I want to do is wet down one of my liner brushes, probably this tiny little baby one, and just kind of muddy that up a little bit. Just probably not super clear from that far away, but there. I think that looks like a hole. Success! Okay, I think I need to deepen up in here a little bit. Probably want to do that with a bit of magenta. I think. probably should have grabbed a new paper towel while I was standing up. Whoops. I do think that's looking a bit better. I'm happier with that now. What else do I want to do to this sucker? There is like a rim highlight right there that I've kind of missed. But I think going back over that with some white will give it a better, softer look anyway. I think I need to bring out the blow dryer one more time to dry this up. Then add a little bit more purple to that with a different brush. Okay, I now think that this line is a little bit too harsh, so I'm gonna go back in and muddy that up a little bit. But just a little. There, I think that'll be better. Watercolor is fairly forgiving in that aspect. I do think that maybe part of my issue with this one is that I darkened it up too much and didn't leave enough paper white for the highlights, and that's why it feels so flat. But that is relatively easy to fix. So, do you think we need a little bit more dark there? think a little bit of orange or yellow right through here will make that feel lifted, even if it isn't. I think yellow right through here. Yeah, I think that's better already. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is just with a plain wet brush, I'm going to go and try to lift some of the pigment out here so that I can get a little bit more of that white going. And I think that will make me happier about where we're at. Because I think that the highlight being rounded right through here is big. Yeah, that's much better already. And since this part's still wet, I could probably go in with a mostly dry brush and just pull this out. Just a little bit. Just so that I know where to put that gel pen highlight later. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay. Is there anything else I want to change on this before I move on? I think I want to pull some pigment out right through here too. Oh, I did not realize how late it was. I'm glad I already have dinner made today. I made soup. It's gonna last me for like 4 days. There. I think that's better. Okay. I think maybe muddying this one highlight up a little bit might help. Or it might hurt it. We're gonna find out together. Because it's got a little bit of a wider area here. Just realized that I started talking and then didn't finish my sentence. Yeah, like that. I think that's better. Or more accurate to the reference photo, I guess is what I mean. Okay. I think we've got good color variation that's really similar to the reference photo here, which I'm pleased about since I was working with a pretty limited palette to start out with. Next is going to be the stems, which I don't think will take a super long time, especially since the colors are pretty limited in there, but I need to make sure that stuff is dry before I do that. Since they're complementary colors, they'll make a really yucky brown if I just let them hang out and do their thing. Okay, but I think up here we're good to go. I think I'm going to start by laying some yellow down because that's kind of where our highlights are color-wise. And I think I'm just going to leave this without a background. I think I'm just going to leave the paper white, which is not how I would usually do things, but we're kind of pushing what we usually do today anyway. So I love that. Pretty dry here. Oh, I got purple in my finger. When did that happen? Nobody knows. You are even more yellow. God, I've gotten so much better at color layering. I didn't used to layer colors like at all, and I blame Trish. She taught me how, and now it's everybody else's problem. I feel like I might do better with this portion of the stem if I understood even a little bit what was happening here. Like in a technical, how does this fit into the universe sense? I don't understand how it ends up like this. I don't think I'm going to get this perspective on the stem right, but that's okay. I didn't really put it in the right spot when I was sketching anyway. I'm not too fussed about it, not gonna lie. Do you think I need a brighter green? Not that bright. It's that one. That one's too blue. Let's go with this one. Let's see how crazy that's gonna be. That's pretty bright. I can probably tone it down a bit with some brown in a second here. I don't think that looks too bad. I do want to darken this up a little bit. I think I want a smaller paintbrush for that though, because it's yiddle. Thank you. I don't think it has as much texture as the reference photo, but I think it gets the idea across all right. I do think that it needs a better highlight through here. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay. I think I need a little bit more yellow at the base up here. Then I think adding higher highlights to the cherries, and then I think we're set. Could maybe use a little bit darker on this side of the stem here. Probably not with this brush, but I started, so we're going with it. Oh, that's not too bad. This is just like a super fine liner brush. Okay. Oh, I've already started thinking about how much editing I'm gonna have to do to make this a time lapse. Ugh. Content creating is stupid and exhausting. Okay, gel pen, come here, please. Okay, need the reference photo again. Nothing says it's art like shoving my fingerprint into it a bunch of times, right? Okay. I guess we have a little bit of a rim down here. I can do right here and right here. Ta-da! I think those look like cherries. Okay, I think it's paint tea. I can speak. I think it is paint. I still can't speak. Tape peel time. There we go. Had to think about it. Sure hard. My brain's dead now, apparently. We're done. I thought too hard about making cherries and now I don't have a brain. Okay. So I will take the tape off of this and sign it, and then I will find somebody that we can raid. I have clipped a lot of the tape peels that I've done with the intention of posting them on socials, and then I never did. honestly, with the amount of buckling this one did, I'm impressed that the paper isn't tearing too bad. All right. I should have gotten my signature pen out, but I didn't. You. Okay. Today's date is the 18th. Do I want to sign on the same spot? Do I want that to be part of a print if I make one? I can remove it if it's a print. Compromise. All right, we made an art. Look at that. Let's see. Next stream is going to be refilling my paint palette and doing paint swatches of that. I always make a paint map of what I'm putting in the paint palette. So I'll be doing that and then starting on the next sticker sheet that I'm planning to do, which is a Halloween sheet. So if you want to be here to deal with Halloween stuff and give me more ideas if you feel like it, that is what's going to happen. That's probably going to be on Friday, unless I'm feeling really zippy on Thursday morning, and then I'll do that then. But the chances of that happening are pretty low because I have a lot of stuff to catch up on, back of the house wise. So yeah, spoopy stickers. Me and chat, last stream, we were brainstorming stuff for Halloween stickers. I do have one sticker sheet available in my shop, which I should have the file of in here somewhere? Question mark? So I think I have an example in here somewhere. Did I shove it someplace weird? There it is. So I have a rainy day sticker sheet that's in my shop now. So this is the original art for it. So we're going to do something similar to this where it's going to be on one sheet, so that I can sell the original in prints because I think Halloween stuff is pretty popular. We worked on some sewing sticker designs, which I'm still working on getting ready to go to print. So that will be the next one that's released. And you'd think I'd have things better organized than this since I just messed with everything. Those are bookmarks. That's not what I want. I have too much stuff. They're all smaller sheets of paper, which is why it's a little bit hard to find. But some sewing stuff, so some bird scissors, little buttons, random buttons, embroidery floss, thimble, needle threader, pin, the classic tomato pin cushion, and a seam ripper. And there's also some stitches that are somewhere. So those are going to be the next sticker sheets that I get made. Yeah, me too. I'm really pleased with how that one turned out. I'm very happy with that one. I keep staring at those cherries and I'm like, oh, I made that just now. Wow. I'd be impressed if I saw somebody else do that. So I'm working on getting those ready for print. We'll work on the Halloween stickers next time, and until we get that done. Yeah, that's... Is there anything else I meant to say? I don't think so. But if anybody has any ideas for what you think of as really quintessential Halloween stuff, feel free to yell it at me here next time I stream or on any social media. I'm the same username on like every social media site that there is, so I'll be easy to find if you feel the need to yell at me for whatever reason, or just chat or whatever. Yeah. Let me see if I can convince my laptop to let me look at Twitch and see who is live. My poor girl, she's working so hard. This is difficult for her. Let's see. People that we've rated recently are up. Yeah, my laptop's a Mac, and I said this last time too, but trying to make her stream is like trying to make a pug run a marathon. It's hard. I'm working on cleaning up a proper streaming spot though. Right now I'm just doing it in the living room when I'm doing physical art. Um, so hopefully soon I'll be able to like have an actual desktop computer that will be able to do like games and stuff, which would be nice. I would like to do that at some point. But it is like a major investment, right? So it'll take a little bit. So somebody who has hung out here before and we've raided before is streaming. So we'll probably go bother them. I'm not sure which pronouns they're using today. They're gender fluid, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Come on, buddy. You can do it. I believe in you. Now the real question is, can I spell well enough to start a raid? Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm kind of just in the she they realm. I'm like woman, but 3 steps to the left or something. Two eyes, 1 underscore, right? Yes. You know, it would have been smart if I had just copied and pasted it from the URL that I'm looking at instead. Okay, that went through. Okay. So thank you for showing up. Thank you again for the gift, Astra. That was very kind of you. And I'll be sure to bother you when it shows up, so you can be here when I open it, if you would like to be. I won't make you be if you don't want to. But very much appreciated. And thank you again to Lemon Not Lemon for both subscribing yourself and for gifting a sub to I will be amused to see his reaction to that tomorrow. Well, thanks everybody, and have a lovely rest of your time zone, and I'll see you later in the week. Be kind to yourselves. Bye.